Ra. Welcome to another sermon of Naked Church. I am Dr. Minister Vermont Princ, your Prince for the Om Institute, Church of Christ Consciousness for Worldwide Hope. We're going to talk about a psyop. The past, present, and illusion are hoaxes that's meant to trap us. Past, present, and future is a psyop. It's a created hoax to sell the illusion of time. The past, present, and future assumes that things are linear, that time is a real thing that moves linear when that's not reality. Everything in existence is cyclic, circles, but not circles, spirals. Let me better, because circles actually trap you to go in around and around and around and have no escape. A spiral actually takes you around, but it takes you to different levels and different places. Okay? They say yesterday is a mystery, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. We're going to break that down real quick. Yesterday is history, his story, his story, his story, history, his story. His does not mean a guy or male. His is a pronoun that's been often used as man or mankind, meaning humanity, all of us. Okay? So, history is his story. It's one's interpretation of something. For example, if you go to a local gas station, there's an altercation and something happens and 10 people see it and they leave and go talk about it. Those 10 people will have their own interpretation or version of what happened. That's his story. Each person will have their version. That's his story. That means that's someone else's interpretation. All history, things that have already allegedly happened, are expressed by people's opinions or their version in their versions, including ourselves. They say tomorrow's a mystery, 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 my story, mystery, my story, mystery, my story. My is more personalized. Why? Each one of us is the my. It's not speaking about my story or your story as my story or her story as my story or his story as my story. It's speaking of everyone. Tomorrow is their my story or their mystery. Why? Because we determine through our actions, through our thoughts, attitudes, and behaviors, or behaviors meaning actions. Through our energy, vibration, and frequency, we determine what's going to happen with our so-called future or tomorrow. That's what we do. So that's why it's my story, because you can control that. Yesterday is a mystery. It's someone else's interpretation. Tomorrow is my story, mystery, because you have control over it. And they say today is the present. That's why it is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Okay, let's talk about that. Present is two words, pre and sent. Pre means before, sent means the past tense of sending, or having emitted or giving something out, putting something out. So it's before you put something out. What is that something? We're going to come back to that something. Gift is G-I-F-T. The two middle letters is I-F. If. Maybe. Could be. Kinda. Not sure. Possibly. That's if. Then you have G-T. G-T is general transmission. Also God thought, but general transmission. And the reason why they say God's thought is I'll come to that in a minute too. Okay, now we on to something. We doing big things right here. Stay with me, people. Stay with me. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, that like button real quick. But okay, so we have this general transmission. Pre-sent, general transmission. Transmission is something you put out. Pre-sent, before you send something, before you put it out. You see both words, gift and present, is the same thing. Even when you break them down, they still mean the same thing. Okay, let's go back. When you hear the word gift and present, Who or what character do you most associate with gifts and presents? A character, not what occasion, what character. The biggest character we know about when we think about gifts and presents for most people in the world is Santa Claus. Santa. If you take the N out and you move it to the N, it becomes Satan, Satan. A clause is a small agreement or section or passage in a contract. That's all a clause is. Clause is just a small part or section or added little feature in a contract. So basically, it's Satan's contract. Santa Claus is Satan's contract. Now, coming back, when you study the ancient Aramaic Hebrew, not the new Hebrew from a few thousand, a few hundred years ago, ancient Aramaic Hebrew, which is the real proper language of a lot of these scrolls in the Bible and things of that nature, you find that Satan is not a being, it's not a entity, not some ghost, it's a frequency. It's actually a device, a box that emits a frequency. Satan was actually and is actually Saturn. The planet Saturn is an object. It's a device. It's a black box that emits a frequency. Okay. So the frequency it emits is electricity. Come back to that. It's part of the virus put on the Matrix. But I'll come back to that also. All right. So we have the past, history, his story, the so-called future, mystery, my story, the so-called present, before it's put out or maybe it be transmitted. Those are concepts. Just like the clock has 12 numbers on it. The highest number is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. We have past, present, and future 3. It's a threefold state. It's a trap. Solid, liquid, and gas. Proton, neutron, and electron. It's all a trap to keep us in a cycle. Mind, body, souls. All of that is a trap. We're supposed to be in. There is one thing. I told you this in the other video. We're supposed to be in a state of eternal or infinite oneness, not threefold state. The threefold state is what keeps us divided, and it basically stops us from escaping this matrix or waking up in this matrix to the level that we can. Anywho, there's no such thing as the past, the present, or future because time is an illusion, and that's just part of the conspiracy to keep us blinded and slaves. They want to be able to put you on a clock. They want to be able to make you watch. When you're watching something, you wear a watch for time, but when you're watching something, you're engaged, you're engrossed, you're distracted from what you're supposed to really be doing. They want you to watch the clock. But that's a whole nother thing. Now, we supposed to live in the infinite now, the I-N. In. I-N. That means to be here. In. I'm in. Like you go within. Then we also supposed to be in the infinite moment, which is I'm, the I am factor. Or we can be in the eternal moment. The eternal moment. The EM. But we go with the infinite moment. We don't want to go with the EM because the EM is electrical. The EM is electromagnetism. That's the balance. We live in a magnetic world. We're inside of a program, a holographic virtual reality time loop simulation program. It's magnetic. It has had a electrical component put on it in order to disturb it and stop us from reaching our unlimited infinite potential. We are supposed to live in an infinite moment. The I am. Think about the word moment. The first 3 letters is M-O-M, mom. The word matrix, the first 2 letters is M-A, ma. We're in a matrix, a ma, a mother, a womb. And the moment is mom. The electricity starts with E-L. which is L. In the Bible, they speak about L, 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 L all the time in Hebrew. They say L means God. L is actually the frequency that's keeping us enslaved. They don't want to tell you that in the Bible because that's why they say, I am God, I'm a jealous God, and things of that nature. They want you to be enslaved to the L frequency. That's L electricity. The elements. Elementary way of thinking. They brainwash you in elementary school. You have to elect your governmental personalities. All the things that's hindering you have the L. That's the L is the transmission being projected or transmitted from Saturn. The sun gives off sun rays, which at the end of them have photons. Those photons can contain light codes that will unlock your DNA codons. The moon has its function as well. All three, the sun, moon, and Saturn, are devices. All of the bodies are devices. That's why they have effect on their devices. Just like a cell phone, it has the different apps on it. Those are like different apps that do different things, or different features on your device that do different things. So we don't want to live in the past, present, and future, that cycle, that threefold state. We want to live in the infinite moment, the I am factor. I exist, I be. And we don't want to, because the past, present, future, that cycle goes around like a clock. There's no ending. You're just going in a circle, a hamster wheel. You don't want to be in a hamster wheel. You want to be in a spiral. It goes cyclic, but it moves. A spiral does not ever connect. It keeps going and going and going. It loops, but it keeps going. You don't want to be in a circle, square, or triangle. That's the key to this whole thing. Okay? So, I'm not your average priest. It's not your grandma's religion. I might not like you, but I love you. Remember, Jesus Christ was a woman who came to teach EYS, embrace your sexuality, which came to teach Om Gaga, sex is the gateway to God. Therefore, EYS, embrace your sexuality, because Itaqua 1080 love frequency is the key, and the only way to reach the 1080 frequency is through embracing your sexuality properly. Like this video, share, comment. Be sure to leave a comment. Some of y'all won't agree. That's all. It's all fine. You don't have to agree. Leave a comment saying you don't agree. Whatever. Do share. And thank you for viewing. Your time. Much appreciated. Rahul.